Hello and welcome to my channel, Becoming Bev. Today we're going to talk about adventures in the van, but also we're going to talk about time spent out of the van and how important that is. I left Missouri the third week in October, and my first stop was to spend time camping with my friend Yvonne. We do this annual Halloween camp out called Forest of Fears at Lloyd Park. Yvonne goes all out decorating for these events, and this year she won second place for the most unique campsite decor with our theme, Sugar Strip Club. So a good time was had by all. We decorated the campsites. We got to drive around and look at what everyone else had come up with, and just had a really good time. I had the sweetest little dance partner named Sean. And also while I was there, I got to see Dee from the channel Lady BugOut. She was at an event a few hours away and stopped by on Sunday night and spent the night at the campground with Yvonne and I. So it was awesome as always to reconnect with her. From Texas, I meandered toward Florida. When I first started making YouTube videos, I did a tour of my friend GW Burns' photo studio in Sarasota. So he was having a Halloween event at his photo studio. So I went a day early and I helped him set up the sets for the photo shoots for the party that night. And as a bonus, we opened up my van, Jennifer, to use as a photo set. So we got some really cool photos with different models posing in my van. Time with GW is always good for a giggle. When I'm at the campground with Misty, there isn't a lot to do sometimes in the evenings. Like, you can only work so much. And then the options like for going out or eating out are very limited there. We're quite a ways out of town. So Misty and I have to come up with what we say is when you live there, you have to create your own fun. Misty bought a yoga DVD and I bought a belly dance DVD. So we spent a little time at the campground learning yoga and learning belly dancing. I decided I needed a belly dancing outfit to go with my belly dance DVD, so that's how this Halloween costume evolved. After I left GW's photo studio, I was heading south. So two people from my YouTube channel reached out. So I got to meet Deborah, which I just did her van tour on my last video. She and I met in Wildwood, Florida, and spent a night at a really beautiful campground, and I got to interview her and do her van tour. I got to see my friends Jim and Kathy when I was in St. Petersburg, and I got to reunite with my little furry boyfriend Sheldon. I don't have a van dog, but if I did have a van dog, I would probably choose Sheldon. Now from there, I drove south to Miami to meet my daughter for a cruise. There are two parts about this video that I'm going to talk about spending time out of the van. So this was the first week that I spent time out of the van. Misty and I do a cruise called the Rock Boat. This was our 9th time to do the Rock Boat, and she and I both just love it. We love live music in small venues, and I love discovering new music, so hearing bands that I've never heard of. So on the Rock Boat, they kick the normal entertainment off the ship for the week, and you're on there with about 35 bands. So it's nonstop music. You get to meet the artists, and they typically have theme nights. So on this cruise, a couple of the theme nights were a 70s night, a Halloween night. Misty and I had a really good time. My friend Julie met us there. You may remember Julie from the video that I did touring her Airstream that she's turned into a mobile hair salon where she does haircuts for the homeless and women's shelters. The cruise docked in Miami on Friday, and I took a flight Friday at noon so I could attend a wedding back in Houston. So I left my van parked at airport parking in Miami and came back to Houston with the intention of turning right around. The wedding was beautiful, and I'm so glad that I got to spend time with my friends Alex and Ray and witness their love for each other in their ceremony. Now, as it turned out, I woke up Saturday morning with a scratchy throat and a stuffy head and not really feeling well at all. So the thought of getting back on an airplane with a stuffy nose is something that I do not want to do. Years ago, I flew with a stuffy nose and ended up with a ruptured eardrum, so I decided to put off my flight until I felt better. I'm flying back to Miami today to reunite with Jennifer, and then I'm beelining back to the campground. About a month ago, I drove to Indiana to look at a 1973 MCI Challenger Bus. Cool factor on this thing is incredible. I was a little bit undecided at first, but decided to buy it for the campground. While I was gone on this trip, the owners delivered this bus to the campground, and my daughter has requested my presence back there to help her finish up the build out and to come up with a theme for it. We're thinking like a rock and roll tour bus or something like that with a 1970s kind of theme. It was good to have some time here in Texas. I basically just spent the time alone in the house. I didn't want to spread this cold to anyone, so I was glad to have a home base here. I keep the house here because it's right next door to my day spa, and I share part of the space in the house with the office and for storage. And so while I was here, I did some painting, I watched lots of movies, and mostly just rested. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my videos. Remember to like and subscribe. You keep watching and I'll keep posting content.
We will walk in fields of gold. We will walk in fields of gold. Y'all sing it one time. We will walk in fields of gold. You guys are a bunch of musicians.